and we have the pleasure of being joined by the head coach of the Carey Blue Devils, Mr. Jonathan Marshman. Coach, it has been a while. It is a pleasure to have you back on the podcast. How are you doing this wonderful Monday evening?
I'm doing great.
Coach, let's just get right into things. You played three teams.
Well,
Hold on. Okay, Coach, go ahead.
As a Bengals fan, and I had to sit here and listen to you guys talk about the Steelers.
How are you doing, Jonathan?
I just want Joe Burrow back. I want a defense, any kind of defense.
No, I agree. I mean, you have Hendrickson, right? And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
he wasn't
much
playing.
Browns-like.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, you got us when Joe Flacco played back-to-back games. You got us at home on that Thursday night, in which we stink against conference division opponents on Thursday night. But then, it just, I don't know. Okay, we'll say this: the Bengals keep losing. You guys keep losing. You get a high draft pick. Who would you want to see?
Defense. We need defense. We're just really bad on defense.
And
because we should have won 2 games. Yeah, we should have won 2 games that we lost in less than a minute. The Jets and
the Bears. Yeah,
and the Bears.
Yeah, but they don't have coaching like you do up at Carey.
Oh, okay.
Are you flirting with him over here?
He's got his team in a regional championship after an 0-3 start, and now, I'm glad I let you get that off your chest about your Bengals. Let's get to something much more better, and that is the Carey Blue Devils being in the Elite Eight in D6. But yeah, you started off 0-3, but that was the teams that are right now a combined 32-4. I mean, we always talk, at least in the media, about silver linings. Was there something you saw through those 3 games that made you think, yeah, we're going to be fine?
Yeah, I mean, I saw our defense get better and better. We played LCC and held them to 6 points. We had some really good offensive drives. We just didn't finish in the end zone. And I knew, that game 3, like if we get this stuff cleaned up, we can be a really good team.
Other than that, seeing the defense, was there any moment throughout the season that a moment that really changed things for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Hopewell, when we lost Eli in that first game, that changed a lot for us. We really had to find ourselves without him and galvanize ourselves together. And so we leaned on the defense. The defense got really good, found their identity in the LCC game. And then offensively, from there, when we went to Upper, we kind of found ourselves in Upper and started putting things together, started finishing drives in the end zone. We did stub our toes. And you keep showing Mohawk. We stubbed our toe a little bit against Mohawk, lost a 29-28 in overtime game, which was a really good, exciting game. But, and at that point we could have been like, well, we're going to be 6-4, barely make it into playoffs, or we going to make some noise. And after the Mohawk game, we went to work, and, we went and played Patrick Henry, a really good team in Patrick Henry, found a way to win that one. Then we played a really good Margaretta team, and really came out firing on all cylinders, I thought, in that game. And then did a really nice job against Paulding last week.
Well, Coach, it's been great seeing you kind of just build up form in these last 10 weeks. Of course, you've won 9 of your last 10 games. Just kind of take me through. I know that the story of a lot of other teams is that they had talent coming back, but they couldn't quite figure out where they wanted to put said talent. I know that you guys have a star in Trip Phoenix who's playing quarterback for you guys this year, but when I saw you guys last a season ago, he was out at the wideout position. So just take me through your talent and what you have and how you were able to put those pieces together to bring this run ultimately to a regional title game.
Yeah, and that kind of was the story at the beginning of the year. We were like, all right, so we're going to put Trip at quarterback. Kyler did a nice job of moving from quarterback to tight end for us. And there's a lot of guys playing new positions game one. And, you know, as the season went on and everybody started really owning their, their role and team, things got better and better and better. And I guess that's what's led us to where at this point right now. I think Tripp's playing really well. But our two Puckett boys are playing extremely well with their new roles. When Eli went down, they ended up taking on more of a running back role and had to step it up on defense. And I think they did both tremendously well. And now that we got Eli back a little bit, Eli's taken a different role and has really owned the fullback role instead of the running back role. And I mean, he's looking really good at that role.
Well, let me jump back to Dash and Mace because, yeah, they've been fantastic in the backfield together. You said it yourself. But from a broadcaster's perspective, can we get them wearing something other than 40 and 48? Because from the booth, it's nearly impossible for us to identify which one is which. Of course, we've got some great guys here that have seen you guys play a couple of times this year. But, I mean, the backfield has been great, and of course you bring back Eli, and then he kind of takes in that new little piece. But just kind of brag on your backfield because it's always great over there at Carey.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, all three of them are big guys, and they're doing a terrific job blocking for each other and running the ball extremely hard. And, I mean, I like the fact that nobody can tell them apart 40 and 48. It's good for me. But – no, they're doing a great job. But the thing is I really think the underplayed thing is our offensive line, the way that they have really played. At the beginning of the year, we had two guys that have never played offensive line playing offensive line, in Chase Stone and Beckham Sherman. One of them moved from fullback to offensive line, one moved from tight end to offensive line. So, that was a new thing for them. But as this year has gone on, they have done an excellent job of paving ways for those three individuals. And, Carter Bain chipped in while Eli was hurt for a while, and he's done a terrific job coming in and in a limited role, but doing things there. And I think Tripp has gotten better and better week in and week out. But it still goes back for us. The backs don't get started without our offensive line. I think they're doing an excellent job right now.
Let me jump back to you, Coach, because congratulations. You're the Northern 10 Coach of the Year. That's always a fantastic honor. Bringing this team back from losing their first three non-conference games, of course. And then look there. Did I spell your name correct? Because if you did, we spell it the same exact way, and we're the same type of weird. Am I right about that? First name.
You spelled it correctly. Yep.
I love that because that's exactly how I spell my name, Coach. Well, I mean,
I've never seen anybody else
again
spell
on
it that
Northern
way.
10 Coach of the Year. Do you get that a lot where people will misspell your name? Does it irk you as much as it does myself?
A little bit. I'll have an extra H in there, or I'll have an A at the end. But yeah, my mom took pride in spelling it that way, I guess. And I always get it spelled wrong. I've never seen anybody else, spell it that way.
Well, it could be like, if you say it spelled wrong, it's just not the Coach Mershman. Where'd that Twitter handle go? I mean, after, ripping on us, calling us like the OH report up in the state up north in Michigan, things like that, for saying Carey wasn't going to win a game or something like that. What happened to that X handle? Because I haven't seen much of it since, the year after you guys won the title.
That I have no idea, because it wasn't me, to be honest with you. I have a pretty good idea who it was, but I haven't seen it myself either come back. So maybe it makes an appearance, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe they'll see this and fire it back up.
Yeah, I mean, the way you guys been playing, it kind of reminds me of that run you guys had all the way to Canton. I mean, you talked a little bit earlier about the defense, turning things around, only giving up 6 points to Lima Central Catholic. And most people actually thought Lima Central Catholic was going to be the best bet to knock off Marion Local in Division 7. You only held them 6 points. Unlucky you guys weren't able to score at all. But in the last 3 weeks in your playoff runs, you gave up 7, 7, and 6, especially to a Margaretta team that did knock off Hopewell-Loudon for their lone loss of the season. Just it seems like your defense is doing everything right at the right time.
Yeah, like I said, we had to fix some things. We had to go to work. We were 0-3, and I got hats off to our seniors, because they were the ones that, got us back to working. We went to work on our defense. That was the first thing we had to get figured out. Because, when you lose to Galleon, 41, I think 14 was the score.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really know at the time, like, how good Galleon was. Now you look at them like they're still playing just like we are in Hopewell, So we played 3 really good teams, but you don't really know that for sure, 3 weeks into it. But, we were at a crossroads. We could be, hey, let's just win a couple games, 2 or 3, and be done for the season, or let's actually get to work and make this a team that, everybody can recognize at the end of the year.
And, I mean, the Northern 10 schedule, going through that, you're co-champs with the Colonel Crawford Eagles. And how about that? Of the 16 teams in Division 6 and 7 left, 2 of them are from the Northern 10, and Carey and Crawford. But just what can you say about the Northern 10, being a conference that gets you ready for a run like this in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, Mohawk, Colonel Crawford, Seneca East, those were just really tough games this year. And next year you're adding Hopewell, who we're playing this week, will be into the Northern 10. So I think the league is moving in the right direction. And I think it's going to be a really tough league moving forward.
So are you a fan of the 2 divisions that they're going to be breaking it into for the Northern 10? Of course, with the 16 teams, you can't play everybody once in the regular season anymore.
Well, so I think I might be mistaken. I think there's 12 teams that play football. I think there's 4 that do not.
Right.
And then, so I think they did like a tier system. And so, yeah, you don't play everybody. I know our schedule next year, what I saw was pretty brutal. We also open up with Marion Local game 1 and then Galleon game 2. So, we're going to have a really tough schedule next year. But that's the future. And like I tell the kids all day, past is the past, the future is the future. We're living in the present right now, and we're worried about this week, which is Hopewell-Loudon. When we play them at the beginning of the year. So the kids are super excited about playing them again, just because we don't feel like we gave our best in game 1, and we're hoping to change that.
Yeah, so I assume that Hopewell-Loudon is going to be added to your conference schedule, and that allotted that week 1 spot that you've decided to take in with Marion Local, which is a very good choice for you guys to really boost up that that schedule. It's just...
I think we're trying to get to the number 1 difficult schedule in D6 next year.
It might be at least from divisions 4 to 7.
I respect that a ton. I mean, this year's schedule was pretty difficult for you guys, and then you're taking it a step up even from there. Well, that's big stuff.
Yeah. So that's what we got to look forward to. But like I said, we're worried about this week. Hopewell's a really good team. They're always well coached. I'm just super excited about. I wouldn't say redemption, but like just finding out how much we've grown from week 1 to now.
And that's always what you want to see in your squad. And you get a great chance to do that here on Friday night in front of the OH Report fan. We're finally going to be able to get out there. So, Carey fans, we will be out there on the NFHS Network. So we'll be live on the NFHS Network for the game. And then we'll have the free stream. Adam Thompson, thank you for that name. The free stream. The free stream afterwards. But, I mean, we like looking ahead, and we're hoping we get a state semifinal, maybe at like Tiffin or something, between the 2 Northern 10 teams to get to a state championship appearance. I know you're not looking that far ahead, but wouldn't it be cool if we had 2 Northern 10 teams in a Final Four? I know you're shaking your head already.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really awesome for the N10. I don't know if that would even – let's just play devil's advocate. If both teams would win, I don't know if that would be guaranteed that those two, we would play each other, due to the fact that I think that would be so far for like if Anna or Coldwater and Kirtland. So I don't think I don't know if that would happen because it'd just be so far for those 2 teams to play each other.
Well, then cool. Let's have a state championship between Northern 10 teams.
Okay.
Let's
That
knock
would
off
be
everybody, huh? And then next
Yeah.
next year you start off against the state runners up in Division 7 because the Hillsdale Falcons are going to knock off Marion Local.
Well, Coach, I'm going to reel you back in here. Let's go ahead and talk about this week. Hopewell-Loudon, of course, the team you guys fell to in Week 1. What are you guys looking at now? Just trying to get ready for Friday. Just I know you said redemption. That's not the word you're looking for exactly. But what notes have you taken, and what are you going to take into Friday?
Well, they have a really good front four. It showed against Archbold Friday night, and they're a three-headed monster at quarterback. We're gonna have to deal with that, and they got one that can really throw it around, and number 8 can really run it. 7 is just all over the place: wide receiver, running back, quarterback, defense, Yeah, they got some dudes. So we got to get to work this week on both sides of the ball, and we got a big week ahead of us, and we can't have any down practice this week.
Well, Coach, I wish you nothing but the best of luck against Hopewell-Loudon. Go out there and get that revenge, like we've been saying here, from week number 1. And like I said, we'll have it for you on the OH Report, on the OH Report Facebook and YouTube, on a replayed restream, and then on the NFHS Network with Mr. Carey, Joshua Banks himself. But, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight on the podcast. And like I said, best of luck against Hopewell on Friday.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck to you as a Bengals fan the rest of the way as well. Hopefully, hey, we'll be rooting for you against the Ravens 2 times.
I don't think it's going to happen.